Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, and more specifically, welcome to this edition of Monday Morning News.
Yes.
A great way to
Like
always
I
start
always say, never a dull moment with the news.
No, and even since we just did one last week, we even got a little bit more news this week.
Yeah, no, this was actually, I think, a better newsworthy week than last week.
And I'm starting this episode, my headphones wire kind of fought my boom arm for a second. That was terrible. I got a little stuck up.
That's all right.
But nonetheless, so we're starting today's episode. I guess we can go right into a little experience that came out for free the other week that we got to, we finally tried it out the other day. It's I Expect You to Die Home Sweet Home. So for anyone who doesn't not know, I Expect You to Die is an awesome escape room series. There's 1 and 2.
One of the best.
Yeah, it's made by Shell Games. Like you said, one of the best. It's hard to pick.
It's hardly a
best.
saturated market, too, so it's easy to be right now. Like, you can sit either as king of the hill or relatively close.
Yeah.
Just make a good damn puzzle game.
I think some of our favorite experiences in VR have been puzzle games. Red Matter, like you said, I Expect You to Die 1 and 2. Atlas Mysteries, another
Red
great
Matter
one.
too.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
I do not grow tired of them. But
No.
anyways.
So I Expect You to Die Home Sweet Home is a free standalone experience. It's really 5 to 10 minutes, but what it's doing is it's showcasing some of the possibilities of pass-through VR. So they have it available on the Quest 2 and also the Quest Pro. Admittingly, we tried it on the Quest 2, but
I tried it on the Quest 2, but I pretended I tried it on the Pro, and it worked pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely would have been better on the Quest Pro.
It was more colorful.
With that full color pass-through than, the Quest 2 offers with the black and white, but
Correct.
it was still an interesting experience to say the least.
It was a flex.
Definitely like a tech demo.
And a taste. I'll say. Yeah, when you described it as a tech demo more than anything, and I'd agree with that. It's like one puzzle you have to solve, and I'll give no spoilers. We never do with puzzle games.
A couple little like interactables.
Like you said, take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you're really struggling, I guess. But
I guess once you know everything to do, you could probably beat it in about 40 seconds to a minute, I'm sure.
yeah, I think my last playthrough, once I kind of figured it out, was like 2 minutes or something.
There was one specific part of it that caught me up for probably about 3 or 4 minutes, and
But it was a good flex.
I died a couple times, but then it was pretty obvious why I was dying, and I was like, well, why would I not think to do that?
Yep. No, but I mean, I give them credit for definitely for free, which is nice. Although I don't know what you'd really charge for a 5-minute experience. That'd be a little dirty.
That's why I always say, like, sometimes you'll hear people use the complaint about some VR games that, they're tech demos, not full games. No, that was a tech demo.
Yeah, like one puzzle. Here you go, using pass through only. But it was cool to see the shit in my own house.
Yeah, you're surrounding. I see my girlfriend just watching TV on the couch. Once I'm actually got my full. Yeah.
No,
I don't want to give spoilers. That's the problem.
But it's a struggle with the Quest 2 pass through. I'll say.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like at full potential in the black and white.
No, it feels like you want to like really clean the shit out of your cameras, but it's not going to make any difference to.
But you can see how if for future, headsets, like if the Quest 3 had color pass through, mixed reality has some potential.
Oh yeah, now we're game changing, and I would probably go through more of a painstaking sense to set up my room to its actual environment.
Yes, because that's something, if you haven't done it in your settings, you go to open up this game, they're going to have you not draw your Guardian like everybody does. They're going to have you set up your room. So at the bare minimum, lay out your walls. You do kind of a layout of the walls, but I set up a false wall.
I did too.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of want to just stop there,
because our living room kitchen area,
it kind of connects.
Yeah, so I didn't want to well, that's weird. If I do the whole wall,
I'm going to go into the kitchen.
Space. Yeah, this huge ass area. So I just made, and it was cool because it's just click and drag.
It was pretty easy to do. It worked. It worked pretty
good.
good.
I set up the couch and I set up my desk.
Yep.
And then I'd like to, because they give you options. You can do windows. You can really map out your.
Well, because they have an other section too that I didn't even play with. It says at the bottom other, and then you just like custom layout. But I was like, whoa, I'm getting a little too deep. I just want to go into the app right now.
See that everyone's worried that the headsets are going to auto map out the areas themselves when actually you're the one physically doing it. They don't have to do shit.
Yeah, I think
they got a great representation in your room.
I think in the lead up to the Quest Pro leaks, I think that there were some rumors that they were like working on that feature for the Quest Pro, but it wasn't able to do it like effectively enough to like not have a safety hazard, you know?
I wouldn't complain.
Yeah.
If I could just click a button or pull my trigger and go into map mode and do a 360 spin around. Yep. And it goes, we got you. We know your total play area. Look, we'll tell you when you're 2 feet away from because let's be honest, your TV is going to be feet away from the wall unless it's, a wall mount or whatever. So even though you've mapped things out, you haven't done as good a job as
no. And if you're like me,
the Oculus laser,
I was going to say in the moment, I'm just trying to go right into the app. I like I said, I drew a fake wall. I, Mickey Moused a couple things. Maybe didn't do it perfect.
But it would be cool to be able, even a third party device, room mapper, where you're the one in charge, so no one's forcing your room to be mapped. But I would do it.
Yeah, as long as kind of what you're saying, you consent to it, and then it's done. Same thing with like avatar scans. Like if you can choose to have your profile picture be an avatar scan,
oh, it'd be friggin' awesome.
Yeah, but it should always be that you choose to do it, never done by default.
Unless that's what the platform required.
Yeah.
Whoever was doing that, because I'm sure in the future we're going to see, like the next step will be more avatar generated chat things. And maybe as the glasses get better, you'll see the person's avatar. So I could see a lot of senses where the real avatar will take over the unicorn.
To me, meta avatars tie into mixed reality pass-through because the day that we're playing a co-op shooter in mixed reality and we see our dudes and probably by then they'll have legs and they're just, not just floating around or whatever, which I don't mind either. But we see our avatars in the room, each of our views will be our respective rooms and we're like shooting zombies or doing whatever. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it has potential.
It has so much potential.
We'll see where they go with it.
So that was a cool little experience.
I just pray that, and here's my, I don't want pass through shoved in my face with everything, and I see it popping up more and more. It's like, oh, this has some pass through. This I just don't want it shoved in my face. I don't mind it as an option, but what I appreciate about like I Expect You to Die 1 and 2 is the whole. It's not taking place in my room.
No, you actually like the environment specifically for that series.
Same thing with, Red Matter, 1 and 2. It's
you wouldn't want that in pass through.
I don't want friggin' pass through. I don't want to be in my room to play this.
Yeah. Right now, I'd say it's kind of like hand tracking in the sense that like very few games are based all around hand tracking.
Yeah.
It's mostly like something you can optionally do. And the ones that are based around hand tracking, since the game's based around it, it tends to do it pretty freaking cool too.
And maybe I'm just being stubborn about it too.
No, I kind of get what you're saying.
I don't want to take like what I know are going to be proven good experiences and have them kind of tainted because of just pass-through mode. But
yeah, pass-through should be a cool option for...
Always an option.
Unless
the game requires,
maybe maybe when hand tracking first came out, I would have said, well, only when required, but then Unplugged comes out and Unplugged is so cool.
When hand tracking came out, it basically sucked.
So
it's my problem with it.
I'd say that's where pass through is right now. It basically sucks with the black and white. It's a cool novelty, but with black and white,
yeah, I'll put it as a novelty right now. But it was definitely a cool tech flex.
Yeah, and I think I'm personally a little bit more on the side of team pass through, but I think it's really going to come down to right. I think what's really going to be the make it or break it for that feature is does the Quest 3 have color pass through? If it doesn't, we're stalled for a whole nother generation.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
So another cool piece of news on the Meta side of things, Meta rolled out a warranty program, which I actually think is beautiful. It's only for new headsets. Like if you had just bought in the headset, you have 60 days to buy the warranty. So obviously for me and you who are sitting here with, 2-year-old headsets, we're not getting no warranty on it, but you just buy a headset. I think that this is a no-brainer. It's, for the Quest 2, it's $60. And then for the Quest Pro, it's $160. That's really not a bad price.
Steal.
Yeah.
No, and the question always comes into play with the more expensive headsets and even the ones that are further more expensive than even $1,500 is you have to insure these things in some sort of capacity because when they break, it's not.
Well, we were already talking like, well, if the controllers themselves are $70 each to replace, and the warranty, if it extends to the controllers, come on.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking at it from a pro sense. It's like, your controllers are $300.
and I don't think I mentioned it. This warranty's for 2 years.
Yeah, no,
it's $60 for 2 years on a Quest 2.
It's just, if they had a, hey, we feel bad for people who've had theirs for 2 years,
here's $100 warranty. Since it's used, we got to charge you more.
Whatever. I would hope a little less, but I would pay it.
Well, you got to think
all
if
it
it's
takes is those controllers. I mean,
if
Jesus,
it's
man.
I feel like a used headset, you have more chance of coming into trouble. So I feel like it's riskier to insure. But who knows? Because they are even extending it. If you buy a Quest 2 from a quote unquote authorized retailer, so check who those are before you start.
I did when I bought mine.
Yeah, but if you buy a refurbished unit from an authorized reseller, refurbished, so it's been used, sold back, and they got it cleaned up, quote unquote cleaned up and sold, you can even put a warranty on that.
Yeah,
as long as you buy it through an authorized reseller. So
the whole thing's a steal. It's a no-brainer. It's like there's no way you're going to spend $1,500 and him and haw over the fact that you can get 2-year coverage
with $300 controllers.
Correct. I mean, anything can happen.
And $160 for, like you said, $1,500 device. Yeah. $160, dude. Just spend. To me, that's spend the extra.
It's they should have just thrown it in as a hidden charge, and nobody would have flinched.
I'm be curious if the Quest 3 is also going to cost $60 for the warranty, or it's going to be a little bit more towards the 100. I'm curious what that rolls out.
I think it's going to depend on what's really in the Quest 3
and the cost of it.
Yeah, what's the guts, and well, I mean, if the cost rumors or whatever are true, then
500. So it'll probably be around the Quest mark because you can't.
Maybe $100.
It'd be hard to sell the warranty for a $500 device for as much as you're selling it for
$99.99, and I will definitely 1,000,000% have that warranty. Not at day 60. I'll have it at like day 1.
Yeah, 100%. To me,
the day I have the item in hand, I want a warranty for it.
2 years, dude. 2 years is a good warranty for accidental damage.
Yep,
dude.
So kudos to them for finding a way to. I mean, it's
I guess squeeze a little bit more out, but
it's provide a good
service. Like that's needed.
Accidental damage is real. So I mean, I don't think they're going to make gangster bucks on it in the long run.
I think it's just good peace of mind for owners that care about that stuff.
Yeah. And yeah. Because I don't have that. I don't have that shelter. If I drop my headset, it's like you're buying a new headset, but then I can get the warranty.
That's true. If you had to buy a new headset, you would 100% be getting that $60 warranty,
right? So maybe in the long run, who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, but to me, if I was buying a Quest 2 today, I would spend the extra $60. Just get that warranty, peace of mind for something like VR.
I don't care what you're buying. If there's a warranty that's that good for the technology and money you spent, Pro, Quest, I'm sure not.
Well, we've all seen the horror pictures of people whacking their wall with controller. One time I was playing Thrill the Fight and I uppercutted my headset because I always struggle with throwing uppercuts.
Oh, I did that. No, 1,000,000%.
And it's like it only takes one perfect hit at that right angle. You break your controller, you break your headset.
And as durable as the Halo is, it doesn't seem like it's going to be when it takes a good smack.
No, but
there's
I will
plenty of videos and photos of people's fucked up looking Halo.
Not to sponsor plug, I will say, but the Halo. The Halo grips protectors that we have with our Kiwi controller grips, those are nice. They don't really mess with my tracking at all. And
ever since going with those, I along with the attachment,
the actual controller handle itself.
I don't want to turn it into a sponsor thing, but
that's peace of mind.
The minute I slip my hands through the ropes or whatever, I know I'm good.
Yep, that nice extended handle. But I was always worried about putting the Halo protectors on for messing with the controller tracking. Never had that issue.
No, it's nice silicone.
I have a lot of black scratches on my controller from before I had protectors and stuff. And it's something about it. You hit the wall good. It's there's that nice black scratch on your nice beautiful sleek controller.
Not good.
Yeah, and that's permanent, baby. So I'd say the warranty is a no-brainer for me. I'm hoping it extends to the Quest 3 and that it's a successful program. Now, another little piece of meta news. We've joked a little bit about Rec Room a bit. That was one of the first things that we checked out cooperatively in VR because, hey, look, we buy a headset. It's free. It says co-op.
Had good ratings.
It has good ratings. It has a cult following. A lot of adults do play it, but unfortunately, we went in and we were a little turned off by the amount of aggressively yelling loud.
It was a daycare center.
That's a very good way to put it. And like, I don't want to end up on a list just for, trying out VR or anything like that.
Nah,
I'm
dude,
playing with like 20 little kids all around me. It's
that whole lobby sucks.
yeah.
Or sucked. I haven't been back.
So if you notice on the Quest headset, on their website, on everything, they're pretty adamant you have to at least be 13 to use the headset. And they want to freaking stick with that. They say it on their website, you got to be at least 13 to make an account. So of course, little kids are they're bypassing it the same way that I always bypass that. I say, I was born in 1989, whatever. You just up your age. Rec Room did kind of have a gray area workaround for the age requirement, that they allowed what was called junior accounts on Rec Room. So junior accounts would be activated by a parent, and their default account, you would say, all right, I want this as a junior account, or you would do it on sign up. I don't know. I'm not actually too familiar with the junior account process, but from there you'd have a junior account, and it's acknowledging that you're under 12 years old, which is kind of like you're going against the meta terms and conditions. They say you have to be a 13, but then you're acknowledging that you have an account for under 12.
I see a lot of 12-year-olds doing that.
But, well, here's the thing. What we experienced when we went into Rec Room and we heard all those little kids, none of them are on junior accounts. So, like, this won't change any of that, because junior accounts, I guess, from what I researched, you can't talk on them. There might be some things about accepting friend requests or something like that. It's like, it's very restricted on the social side of things. So
you won't be lured into a strange building and asked to drink alcohol like that lady was. And told to bend over.
In the Horizon Worlds sexual assault one, that was a good time.
If Rec Room were that way, it would just be like 1,000 candy trucks driving around and shit, ding dong carts.
So,
oh, it's terrible.
You might see headlines that Meta bans kids from VR, bans Rec Room kids. It's not like they're going on like a bounty hunter ban, looking for high squeaker voices and hit ban, and then they're instantly gone.
If you're a high pitched talker, you're safe.
Yeah. Anybody who was being annoying in the mic, they weren't on a junior account anyway, so it doesn't. But all it's doing is it's cutting out the loophole, which I understand why they're doing. They're like, hey, we set this age minimum, and then you have an account that's acknowledging that you're below our age minimum.
Listen, it protects them from instances of, someone making a cool ass ice cream truck or candy van.
Yeah, I get it from like a legal protection point. I get why. Otherwise, you're like, hey, you're enabling this behavior. If you're allowing under 12-year-olds on there, you'd be like, well, yeah.
I was not upset about this news at all.
No, unfortunately. And now, look, Rec Room employees might not want me to say this because, look, they want the most amount of users, but I wouldn't be mad if they crack down on the kids in VR and like, hey, look, you're a kid, you're banned for a month. Like, you're using your parents' account. That's not supposed to be like that, Yeah,
it won't happen.
No, it won't. It won't. And like the other side of me goes, I always played latest and greatest video games as a kid, too. But I always played more single play. Like, multiplayer didn't exist in the same realm that it does now. Like, online multiplayer
like you
wasn't
said,
something I was doing.
If you had to enter something, you would just lie about your age and just put in whatever age you had to be, create an account. And
I had a RuneScape account when I was like 8, 9. So it's like, I see both sides to it, But I'm just saying, for user experience, I might actually enjoy Rec Room if I could go in and it wasn't freaking...
Wasn't a daycare center?
Yeah, intense.
Maybe it's changed today. I don't know.
Who knows?
It's been a long time since we've actually gone in there.
Yeah, I think that we haven't been in since maybe the first month or two that we got a headset. There was one.
We found one game that we really liked.
It was Crimson something. I don't remember the name, but that one wasn't bad. But trying to find any other
in today's world, it is in the current market. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not the greatest.
But so I mean, I guess although you might see the headlines, like I said, that Meta's banning these junior accounts or banning kids,
children from Facebook.
There is still going to be plenty of kids playing these games.
Yeah, don't worry. There'd be no shortage of headset babysitters.
Oh, yeah. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in metaquest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The metaquest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
Today's episode is sponsored by True Classic. Guys, let's get real for a second. Your significant other will be way less upset about your gaming streak if you're looking fine as hell while you play. Finding that perfect fitting t-shirt can be a terrible experience. The thing is either way too tight, has a case of bacon neck, or is just plain big and boxy. Luckily, True Classic makes quality clothing for every guy. Whether you're on VR, PC, Xbox, PS5, or yes, even a Wii, they've made finding that perfect fit easy with their formula. A closer fit in the arms and chest to show off your muscles. We know you're getting a workout while gaming. Let those toned arms shine. Plus, they leave wiggle room in the torso to keep things cozy. All of their styles are super soft, and it's a great price for what you're getting. So guys, no excuses. Don't be a noob. Get rid of those ratty t-shirts I know that you've been hanging on to for years and get ready to upgrade. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. We want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time only, get 20% off with the code RuffTalkVR at trueclassic.com. Almost all men's t-shirts are designed to look good on a certain body type. Think skinny models with six-packs or Dscruffles over here. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few beers, and there's nothing wrong with that. My dudes, it's simple. You are wearing the wrong clothes. True Classics tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tighter around the chest and shoulders. You can throw on that True Classic with confidence, knowing they've got your bases covered. True Classic is much more than just a t-shirt company. They have all the menswear staples you could need, from polos and workout shirts with the same flattering fit to boxer briefs that'll keep your boys feeling nice and comfortable. And for any of the big boys out there, they have tall sizing and up to triple XL on all their staple colors. True Classic will make you feel your best by accentuating the places the eye goes to first. Wink, wink. Whether you have abs or a delicious, soft, creamy center, their clothes look great on all body types. Skinny guys, big guys, buff guys, gaming guys, True Classic has you covered. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code word RuffTalkVR. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. True Classic. When you look good, you feel good. Hey everyone, welcome to Fresh Ball Fall. It's the season of pumpkin spice and making sure your crotch looks nice. That means sipping cider in the fall breeze and using Manscaped products to trim your balls with ease. That's right, today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, a company here to make sure that your foliage isn't the only thing shedding its excess leaves. Heck, even Mother Nature knows it's time to lose the excess clutter for fall. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR. Whether you're brand new or already with us at Manscaped, you could use the crown jewel of care for your family jewels, the Platinum Package 4.0. With this glorious package, you can align your entire hygiene routine all in one swoop. Inside the 10 Platinum Package is everything you know and love about the Performance Package, plus some shower goodies included to elevate your grooming game to platinum. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin-safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof so you can keep scaping even as the weather's change. In addition to shaving, you can now completely upgrade your shower routine with the Ultra Premium Body Wash and Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo plus Conditioner. You'll have your skin and hair feeling hydrated and smelling fresh. Don't forget to apply their aluminum-free ultra premium deodorant, and don't worry, it's not pumpkin spice, it's a cologne quality fragrance. But we shouldn't have a signature scent for our pets. Use Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver, Ball Toner to make sure your go-to smell is top shelf and not sweaty balls. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts for their Platinum Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag, both specifically made to hold your goodies. Get the Platinum Package this fall. These products are guaranteed to be hits for your dangly bits. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ruff Talk VR. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the code Ruff Talk VR. Manscaped, clear out the leaves. It's your tree trunk's time to shine.
Oh, yeah. So I guess the next piece of news, a game that I'm actually looking forward to a ton because, hey, it's a big name and it's going to be co-op, Ghostbusters.
Dun, 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 dun.
It seemingly
Can't
got
get sued for that, right?
it seemingly, I would say, I would not. If you got sued for that, I would say, wow, props that you hit that to such accuracy with your just
when
your
when I have no vocal,
I would take that lawsuit as a
range?
compliment. But nonetheless, so
Good point.
dude, no, wow, I'm like you're like that guy from Spaceballs who can make every noise, you know, the beeps and the boops. Nonetheless,
Spaceballs. It was actually Police Academy where you first saw him. Yeah,
yeah. To be honest with you, I watched both of those movies as a kid. But Spaceballs has way bigger of like an impression on my childhood.
It's Mel Brooks, man.
Dude, that was an awesome movie. Yeah. Awesome movie. Police Academy was good too. Don't get me wrong, but
History of the World is one of my favorites. Yeah.
But so Ghostbusters, it got an official title name too, which I think is a little murky of a name, but whatever. I don't know. I wasn't in on the board meeting to decide this, but it's called Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord.
Ooh.
I think they maybe could have called it Ghostbusters VR, and I would have been content.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I remember the original Ghostbusters game, and it was all right. For its time, it was great. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking if it's going to be that type of thing, I don't know the replayability of it. So I really don't know what they're doing with it.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. So it got an official name. It got a store page on the MetaQuest store, so you can see it coming soon.
Coming soon.
And it has a launch date sometime in 2023, which I won't lie, I was bummed about that. I was really hoping to see it.
Yeah, I thought it was coming Christmas. End of the year or right after the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime 2023.
What does that mean?
Pretty vague.
Is that Christmas next year?
That's from January to December sometime.
It's going to come on the Quest 3, you know, like what, you know, so that was a little disappointing. I was really hoping for a Christmas release, I won't lie. But that's just me being a selfish fan. Now, I understand. I'd rather the game not be rushed and actually be finished.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I mean, this is a legit.
It's a big title.
Yeah, it's a big brand. So, my fear is that they kind of replicate the same experience that's already happened, but just put it to VR and it's not going to.
You want more of like a unique.
And I'm not talking shit because I want the game and I want it to be a great experience. I just have my own personal concerns from my experience the last time. We're going way back.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you've played Ghostbuster games before.
Yeah.
And you just kind of want a different experience in VR.
But I don't know what else they could do because there's only one way to catch ghosts.
Yeah, you know? And it's a co-op game, so you kind of already know it's going to be like going around shooting things.
Nah, you had to like cross to get the ghosts in your like gun and stuff like that. Sometimes you'd have to cross them and all this weird shit. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same experience.
Yeah, you have I hope that you're pleasantly surprised, but we won't know until 2023. So
I'm hoping is the immersion makes me not care.
Like, that's always a possibility too.
You know, that could be the.
But also, you know, to hold us over until Ghostbusters, there's a game called Espire, which is a stealth game. People love those things, and to be honest, I haven't experienced the first one, but I think I need to ASAP because Espire 2 is coming out this month.
Right around the corner, man.
Yep. I don't have the official date right in front of me or anything like that.
Could
the only thing I saw was later this month. So it's like, so we got something good to hold us over, and now I think I need to go experience Espire 1 sometime before later this month comes.
But again, later this month could be
next week. The 28th.
Tomorrow, 8 days from today.
Could be the very end of the month. Let's see.
The last day of the month.
So I'm excited about that. Like, we're not getting our Ghostbusters, but at least, you know, we're getting
something.
And a lot of people really liked the first one. I need to go experience it because I've seen some hype. I'm thinking
I'm down.
Thinking it might be like one of those Red Matter situations where when we do it, we go, how? How have we waited
this
this long?
Not shoved down my face?
Right?
Yeah.
So I hope so. I'm excited for it, but you know, a couple more pieces of news before we wrap this baby up. You know, I don't know, is it for VR forever? I think that they're trying to be called forever.
I like for VR. For VR.
Because forever, you know, call it forever games and I might roll more off my tongue. but just calling something forever feels weird, you know? So, but I like 4VR. So if it's called forever and you hear us call it 4VR, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is forever.
Yeah, it's just the way that the
I
cookie
think we've
crumbles.
crossed this bridge before, but we're not budging.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Because forever, if I go, so forever did this, you'd be like, what? It takes your brain a second, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe change it to Forever Games or something, or Forever Game Studio, and then like maybe I'll like it has more roll to it. Forever is such a short word.
I see VR in it, you know.
Yeah,
so.
for VR it makes sense.
For VR.
But the huge props to them, you know, they pumped out a lot of good Wii Sports-esque titles, as they'd even describe it. You know, they're coming out with Pool.
Yeah.
They raised $10 million in funding the other week. That's huge.
To make more games.
To keep expanding their quote unquote Wii Sports style game library.
I really enjoy them for the social aspect. They're not my go-to for single player, but when you and I would ever play any of their games, you know, darts, bowling, it's always the social aspect that makes it.
Yeah, I referenced it last week when we were talking about Bocce Time, but that's the only game style. That's the only sport, I guess, that I don't want them to steal. Don't touch my Bocce Time. You can take whatever else you want. And I'm excited to see them continue to grow that library because you already know that the experience is going to be good. You're going to have that YouTube player. It's going to be multiplayer. You're going to have unlockables. Just don't touch my Bocce. That's all.
They're definitely going to have to. I mean, you don't raise $10 million to expand your whole
and then skip a sport
and skip a sport out of like competitive respect. No, that just doesn't happen. Or there would only be one rhythm game, or there would only be one, you know, first person shooter. No, it's an open market. But I get what you're saying because it's like
I'm worried if they did do it like we said last week.
I don't want it to take away from Bocce Time.
Or put them both on the official store, you know?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, but
I got my eyebrows raised.
But huge props to them because to me, 10 million is a lot of dough.
I could probably parlay that into retirement.
Yeah, I mean, granted, that's a full. That you're one person. That's a full studio and company. But I feel like that's a lot of dough just to raise not only their sales, however much they're making. You know, we have no clue. But when you hear, you know, X percentage of developers are breaking $1 million in sales, $2 million, you know, you got to think that they're one of the ones with all their different games on the official store. I feel like everybody's played a forever game, for VR game, whatever you want to call them.
There's limitless possibilities with what they can make too. I mean, they could do mini golf, and
they utilize the meta avatars. So
they could do badminton.
They could do tennis,
croquet.
They could do whatever.
Is it croquet? I think it is. Backyard games.
They could do cricket.
Cricket might. No, I tried a cricket simulator on Xbox and
wasn't impressed.
No. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, I watched a YouTube video actually on cricket to see what I'm kind of missing.
They made a cornhole game. I wouldn't be surprised if they made cricket. If they by the fact that they made a cornhole game, that to me goes, they don't care how big or small the niche is. They're coming for it. You know. Yeah. I think that's the message cornhole sent me.
I don't want to deviate off topic.
You're gonna make a whole game on a backyard game. They give no shits. They're like, we're just coming. We're coming for them all.
Did you hear about the cheating controversy in the cornhole tournament?
Oh, geez,
I never. It just makes me smile to say because it's just funny.
Is it real news or is this?
Yeah, it's 100%. I'm not lying.
Okay, I wasn't sure if there was like a punchline coming or something.
So it was a cornhole tournament, like the big sponsored ones. The dudes looking like NASCAR drivers and shit with their T-shirts, but there's that kind of money involved in freaking cornhole. So, anyways, the guy complains to the judges that his opponent's bags were like something to do with weight or size or some shit. So they inspect him and they're like, yep, 100%. And then they inspect the guy who made the complaints bags. His were illegal too.
Look at that.
So when you said cornhole, it just made me remember that article.
Yeah, I remember I saw a video the other week. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I saw like somebody get caught in a fishing competition.
Dude, they wanted to murk that guy.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, they were pulling the lead balls.
Out, and they were like, he should be in jail. Yeah, he's a criminal.
They'd clearly asked the guy too, like, or told him at the beginning, like, just go away, just leave. And he stood there and watched it while people are just like, and he was emotionless. Like,
well, he knew what he did, and I was
dude,
hearing
they
people
had a fucking bucket of lead balls, like 1 inch to 2 inch balls that he shoved in the fish.
I wish I had just an audio track of just the background comments, but none of the other like noises.
Yeah,
People
dude, they were gonna
like,
kill
how
him.
many other tournaments has he done this at?
Yeah.
I was so serious. It was awesome.
That was like the weak wave of scandals, because then there was the poker one where the jury's still out on that one.
There's chess that's been going on.
Oh yes,
I love this chess one.
The chess,
which I'll say that's probably
anal
good.
commands.
I'll argue that has been good for the sport of chess because it has brought in eyes to the sport.
No, it was.
I've been following chess news a lot heavier than I did a year ago. I'll tell you that much.
Looking for butt vibrator guy.
Yeah, what's
the Queen's Gambit did a lot for chess. People were like, for a little bit, you couldn't buy a chessboard because.
Well, when we reviewed Chess Club or the Chess VR game that we made by Otter's Lab, one of the things you said was like, I'm surprised that this isn't bigger because of the Queen's Gambit. I remember you saying that during our review.
You would think that's at the tail end. I guess what happened is people watched it and then
realized how fucking hard chess is.
They just didn't try it. They just wanted the chessboard.
Chess is hard. You go in like to get
That's
good at
the world
chess.
we live in now. I bought it, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, chess is hard, dude.
It's a thinking game. I mean, it's the ultimate in war.
I got to go check out that chess game. Maybe I'll do that this week. I want to go because I've seen a lot of updates from it. I think it's time that I give that another revisit because we had some complaints about it, and I have a feeling that a lot. Yeah,
I saw someone,
especially the matchmaking. I had a big issue with the matchmaking. I think that's been fixed.
I did see people in our Discord trading names.
And remember, I had the big issue that somebody left instead of doing their last move.
Yeah.
So I could never beat them. I'm pretty sure that's been fixed. I'm pretty sure. I got to go
It's been over a year, I think.
I think they added mics because there weren't mics into it. So there's a lot. I definitely got to go check that out. But
okay.
Before we get too sidetracked, we got one more piece of news, and then we can wrap this baby up. And we got some more joyful, fun things coming later this week. So Qualcomm, the makers of the chip in the Quest 2 and other VR headsets.
Yes.
The Quest Pro is the first VR headset to use an upgraded version of the chip that's in the Quest 2, the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2. The Pro has an XR2 Plus. So exciting, right? Qualcomm, they came out though and they said, I think that Bradley interview got me more interested in the technical side. Not only the interview, but following his leaks and stuff like that. Yeah. I can see how he gets into it. So Qualcomm said multiple Snapdragon XR2 Plus headsets are coming out by the end of the year. Like, what? We're in November.
Multiple headsets.
Multiple. Well, okay. To be fair, I don't know if they use the word headsets or devices. Now, does this mean a bunch of cell phones are going to have these? Or does this mean that we're getting other headsets?
I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm going to keep an eye. I want to see some news.
Definitely newsworthy.
Well, because where my brain first went is HTC was teasing that they have a new headset coming. And they made reference that it was going to be standalone. And they stopped teasing a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, well, you guys were saying something's coming. Stop teasing. Just tell us what's up. And I go, I wonder if that's going to have an XR2 Plus if that headset actually does come out.
Good question.
It'll be interesting.
It's definitely worth following, though.
Yeah. No, that was a fun one. And I think that was the last bit of news. Like I said, we did one last week. So the fact that there's even 7-8 things to talk about is pretty remarkable in a 7-day span.
I almost expect it to always be that. I mean, honestly, I think last week was the most non-newsworthy week.
Yeah.
And
then it ended up still being, and it's not like it was a short episode. We kind of got a habit about talking a lot,
I think as the industry continues to move and people are paying attention, and it's just going to be in the news more and more.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about this off air. We were just talking about the growth of things and everything. We go, well, do you think VR is going to be bigger in 2025 than it is today?
You want to hear something crazy?
To me, it's no brainer.
I was watching old Frasier episodes. Not Cheers, but Frasier, and they mentioned virtual reality.
I mean, it had some pushes.
Yeah, I mean, it had.
It's always had
the
little
mall
waves,
arcadey push, and all that. But whatever.
And
it's
in the
cool
90s,
to see it where it is now, though.
In the 90s, there were some pushes towards it too.
Yeah, just graphically, they couldn't do it justice to justify it. No freaking way.
No, well, the technology wasn't there, and there's even some really, man, geez, probably before the '90s. If you go into the history of VR, like there's been several pushes. It's just always needed some company like Meta to subsidize it.
It needed money. Yeah, needed investors.
All right, but anything else you want to talk about today, or do you want to wrap this baby
I'm
up?
good.
All right, perfect. So stay tuned for later this week. We have some fun things coming, including a really good interview. I think it was one of the more fun interviews. Not that there's ever a bad one or anything like that, but it sticks out as a really good interview to me.
They're all good. Everyone we've spoken to has always been good, but there's a few, like you said, that just stand out, and you're like, all right, that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. If we had a Hall of Fame, there's some that we reference privately off air. There's just like
yeah. There's definitely some I can't wait to talk to again.
Yeah, we have a Hall of Fame, and I think that this might be on our Hall of Fame of interviews. It was a really good one. So let's see how it comes out as a product. I think that it'll be a fantastic listen as well, but I will say selfishly recording it, I had a blast.
Might be biased.
Yeah. So nonetheless, like I said, stay tuned for the rest of the week and hope you enjoyed this one.